October 6th, 1981, Cairo, Egypt. It was supposed to be a day of celebration. Thousands of soldiers marched in perfect formation. Fighter jets roared across the sky. Military vehicles rolled proudly across the streets as Egypt commemorated the anniversary of its historic victory in the October War. On the main grandstand sat President Anwar Sadat, wearing his military uniform and saluting the parade. Around him were senior military commanders, foreign diplomats, government officials, and television cameras broadcasting the event live to millions around the globe. Everything appeared calm. The military parade was unfolding exactly as planned. President Anwar Sadat sat confidently on the reviewing stand, dressed in his ceremonial military uniform. Above the parade ground, fighter jets streaked across the sky, their engines droning out almost every other sound. The atmosphere was one of pride and triumph as Egypt marked the anniversary of its victory in the October War. No one imagined that within moments the celebration would become one of the most shocking political assassinations of the 20th century. As the military parade continued, an army truck suddenly stopped in front of the presidential stand. At first, no one reacted. The spectators believed that it was simply part of the parade. Then, in an instant, several armed soldiers jumped from the vehicle. What followed changed the course of the Egyptian history forever. Grenades were thrown toward the presidential platform. Automatic gunfire erupted. Chaos spread across the parade ground. People screamed. Security officers rushed in every direction, and television cameras struggled to capture the confusion unfolding before them. The attack lasted less than a minute, but those few seconds were enough to change the course of the Egyptian history. Within seconds, the assassins began leading the attack. The first grenades were thrown toward the presidential platform. Not all of them detonated as intended, but the explosions that followed instantly shattered the calm atmosphere. Almost immediately, automatic rifle fire erupted. The sound echoed across the parade ground. Guests threw themselves to the floor. Military officers searched desperately for cover. Security personnel rushed toward the attackers, while others attempted to shield the president. The reviewing stand was suddenly engulfed in smoke, dust, confusion, and panic. Witnesses later recalled that many people froze, unable to understand whether the gunfire was part of the military demonstration or a real attack. Only after several seconds did the horrifying reality become real and clear. President Sadat remained in his seat during the opening moments of the assault, reportedly believing the soldiers were preparing to present a military salute. By the time the danger became obvious, the attackers had already opened sustained fire toward the platform. Bullets struck several people seated beside him. The attack continued for less than a minute. Security forces quickly returned fire and moved to stop the attackers. Within moments, the gunmen were overpowered and arrested at the scene. The parade ground fell into complete silence. The celebration had become a crime scene. President Sadat was carried from the reviewing stand and rushed to Maadi military hospital, where doctors immediately began emergency treatment. Despite every effort to save him, his injuries proved fatal. Shortly afterward, Egypt announced that its president had died. What had begun as a national celebration had ended in one of the most dramatic political assassinations ever captured on live television. Those brief seconds, recorded by television cameras and witnessed by millions, would forever become one of the defining moments in Egypt's modern history. So rest in peace, President Anwar Sadat, and all the victims. This report and voiceover was made by the speaker, Ahmed Rushdi Al-Surati.